Let's talk about, as I just called them, Keir Starmer's Mount Everest of problems. He's got such a crisis on his hands. It is, of course, this welfare bill next week, which is actually called the Universal Credit and Personal Independence Payment Bill, which will change the qualifications, who will qualify for certain disability and sicknesses benefits. Now, in other words, far fewer people would qualify under this act should it become law, and that's in a bid to save, very necessarily, £5 billion. Our welfare bill is out of control, and the government must bring it down, otherwise this country literally faces bankruptcy. The problem being that the Labour Party, full of bleeding heart, be kind types who don't see their membership of the Labour Party to be about cutting back on welfare. They see their members of the Labour Party to be about increasing welfare. That's what Labour are all about. They're rebelling. They're rebelling, the backbenchers. Now, we're hearing, the official tally of the rebels who will vote this down, they put in an amendment which will completely destroy the whole point of it. That's 120, but we're hearing it's now around about 130. Now, if this bill remains as it is, then the Prime Minister will almost certainly be defeated, an humiliating defeat in Parliament, which is no mean feat for a leader with a 156-seat majority. But him being him, spineless, moral coward that Keir Starmer is, what he's already busy doing is watering down this bill to make it acceptable to the rebels, to the bleeding heart rebels, but to the point where it won't save any money at all. Now, critics of this government and our welfare crisis just say, well, 5 billion savings is nowhere near enough. We need to save a lot more than that, but at least it's something. Now, Starmer is in the process, in order to get this bill through and save his own embarrassment, he's in the process of taking the savings down to virtually nothing. Now, the problem there is that he is prioritising his own dignity over the welfare of this country, because if we don't get some savings through on our ludicrously escalating welfare bills, this country is going to go bankrupt. This is a serious crisis point we've reached here, Philip.
Yeah, and when that happens, that is reality. That's the biggest reality check you can ever have. I was just thinking about this PIP thing, this personal independent payment today. So I did a little bit of research on it, Kev, actually, just to find out what you can actually get it for. So I started typing in ever more ludicrous things. So you can get this payment for ADHD. Right, you can get it for anxiety.
Yeah, this is the problem. It's too many mental health payments. Carry on, Philip. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you can get it for mood swings. Right.
Right. Well, I think I'll qualify. I mean, my mood swings are legendary.
Well, this is me when I look at my newsfeed in the morning. I should be getting paid a fortune for this. You can get it for alcohol. They're paying you to stay at home and drink. You can get it for drugs. You can get it for dyslexia, Kev. Right?
Dyslexia.
You can get it for dyslexia. So I got to the stage where I'm going to type in something really stupid. So I typed in athlete's foot. And it said, well, no, you can't get it for athlete's foot unless it's so terribly bad that it actually stops you walking. In other words, it's there to be abused.
Yeah, right? You can say it's stop. Can I throw something into the mix? I saw this morning. This is from a while ago, but 20,000 people are off work in the UK every single month due to mental health problems. 20,000 people a month and rising. So the mental health, I mean, I don't want to diminish the importance of mental health issues, but for a lot of people, particularly people claiming benefits, it's a racket. It's a racket. It's the new bad back.
It is. Oh, yeah, it's the classic bad back of the 1970s. But of course, for many people, and I'm not talking about absolute clinical depression here where you can't move and get out of bed. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the best thing you could do if you're feeling down or you're feeling a bit glum, you've got the blues, is actually go to work and meet people and keep busy. So all of this stuff feeds on itself, but it comes back. Mental health is one of these things, isn't it? Where it's a little bit like race, it's a little bit like gender. It's one of these identitarian things. It's one of the new things. You can't question it.
No, exactly.
An evil. If you do that, my God, you've got no empathy, right? And if you've got no empathy, then you are the worst kind of person in the world. It comes back to what I said before. The best kind of thing that can happen for these people who are just feeling a little bit down and feeling a little bit miserable and probably don't like work is to actually go to work. You will feel a lot better.
Yeah, this nation, like a lot of other Western nations, particularly in Europe, unlike America, is addicted to welfare. Our addiction to welfare is on the point of absolutely ruining us. Of course, Labour's response is, oh my God, maybe we need an office reshuffle. So they're talking about regime change at Downing Street. This guy, Chief of Staff, the brilliant Labour mastermind, we were told, Morgan McSweeney, who replaced the useless Sue Gray, is proving to be every bit as useless as his pathetic predecessor. So they're saying maybe Morgan McSweeney needs to go. Well, that won't make any difference. But what we need is a Prime Minister with a backbone, with spine, with moral courage. We don't have that. He needs to somehow or other, he should by now, somehow or other, have persuaded his MPs, look, this is a make or break issue. But of course, they're now at the point where they're thinking, if we let this guy Starmer carry on with his policies, we might lose our seats at the next election. And what they're actually thinking, and this is what Starmer's terrified of, what they're actually thinking of is, unless we get a new leader, we'll lose our jobs as MPs at the next election. So that's why he's in a lot of trouble. And all of this means it's not all that surprising to see a new poll revealing that a general election tomorrow, or if you like today, would see Nigel Farage and Reform UK landing 271 seats, more than any other party, because of the hopelessness of Labour, because of the irrelevance of the Tories, and the ludicrous nature of the rest of them, the Lib Dems and the Greens. Farage and Reform are just capitalising on all this and steaming ahead, aren't they?
It's extraordinary. It's nothing short of a revolution, a kind of social revolution, or a revolution of thought in a way. These jokers in the Labour Party, right? There is a tacit agreement among them that waste is just what they do, right? They've always done it. They're socialists, for God's sake, but waste is what they do. And that idea of all of my constituents, if we're giving them stuff, if we're keeping them quiet by giving them stuff, giving them money, allowing them to stay at home, they will vote for us. And it's all of this stuff that always happens, isn't it? It's keeping quiet about the Pakistani rape gangs, 4 votes. It's keeping people on 4 votes. It's the same pattern over and over again. And so we have this extraordinary situation where Reform are now way ahead in front. There's clear water. I mean, just for the Conservatives there, this is a projection. It's all it is. But it's saying that the Tories would just get 46 seats and they would be the 4th behind the Lib Dems. That's absolutely extraordinary. Now, I remember a couple of years ago in think tank land when we used to do conferences and all of that kind of stuff, get audiences in and we'd have speakers, and I've spoken on the same bill as Richard Tice and William Clouson of the SDP. Those two people we always used to have them on the same level. This is just a couple of years ago because they essentially were on the same level.
Fringe, yeah.
You know, they were fringe. I mean, the SDP, don't get me wrong, they've got lots of really brilliant policies,
And I
but
like William as well. He's a good guy, yeah.
yeah, he's a good guy. He's a great leader. But reform were there. Now, a couple of years later, we are seriously looking at reform forming a new government and obliterating the uni party. It's not just a new government. It's not just a new party. It's a conceptual change. Something has happened which we will look forward, and we will be a different country because of it. We need a new ethos. We need a new way of looking at things. Essentially, we need a conservative revolution, and that's what this is. That's what reform are producing. Now, they're not perfect, and you know, there are lots of things about them that I would change, but by God, they're better than the alternatives.
Absolutely right. Now, over in the Kremlin, if Nigel Farage and Reform are running the country, old Putin will go, wow, how can we destabilise Britain? Let's get involved in the migrant crisis. And he'll be told, well, actually, they're turning the boats round and the migrant crisis has been solved. Oh, what else can we do? You see what I mean? It's quite easy. We just need some resolve.